Time the fuck out. I didn't even get started on what I was going to say. Yeah.
Bro, that movie was crazy.
Crazy, Frankie. Yeah.
I was like, well, what are specials tonight? Yes.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Hey everybody, Specialist in Nothing, back at you again, talking about everything, specializing in nothing. My name is Frank, and as always, Danny and Joe. You guys want to say what's up?
What up? What up? What up? What's going on, guys?
Dylan, man, I am very into this story that we're about to talk about tonight.
So even though we specialize in nothing, we're not for hire, but I do think that getting this message out there amongst other things in the news and stuff like that could bring this story to light. So tonight we're going to go ahead.
Well, if it could help too, if it could help the family
that as well,
peace, and like, you know, it can help anybody like hear about the story. Let's say somebody hears about it from us and they didn't know about it and then happens to go see this kid and helps him get found or something like that. That would be great.
Imagine?
We're talking about Brian Laundrie on the run and the missing person, Gabby Petito.
Yeah. Well, actually, she's not missing anymore. They found her.
She's not missing.
Yes, unfortunately they did, but at the time she was a missing person.
Yeah.
So where I follow the news here and there. I'm not up to date with the story, but I know you guys know a little bit more about it than I do.
Well, so I was gonna start off. So the basic
Where are they
story.
From?
They're from.
Gabby was from Long Island.
Yeah, and he's from Florida.
Okay.
Florida.
But the basic story was that she was traveling with him in a cargo van that the two of them had made as like a recreational vehicle, as people have been doing on social media and stuff.
Like an RV type of thing.
Yeah, but it was
it's like a big thing.
So
they had a YouTube channel and they would travel and they would, do live.
They do like vlogs and stuff.
Yeah, they were sharing their trip on like Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that.
Was this like a cross country thing? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
So that's what it was. They were doing a couple months long cross country road trip when she mysteriously disappeared, and that was like how the story started.
Do we know? So they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Do we know how long they've been together for?
That I don't know, to be honest with you.
Because I know that they said that they got engaged in July of 2020, right? So now they were fiance. They were
I thought it was like 2 years they were together. I heard.
Well, it's already been a year since they've been engaged. So are you guys aware if they've been together for only that year, or was it longer than that?
No,
we're not sure. All right, so maybe
I'm pretty sure it was longer than that.
Okay, so go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, because they announced their engagement 1 year before their trip, it says. So like on the timeline thing that I have here. So in December of 2020, they purchased the van. But in July of 2020 was when they got engaged. And then July 2nd, the very next year, is when they departed for the trip. July 2nd, 2021.
Right. Of this year. So a couple months ago.
Yes. So they leave on the trip July 2nd, 2021. July 4th, they start posting like on Instagram and YouTube and stuff on like about their stops and their timeline of
about
like,
their trips and stuff.
Yeah. So, and this was how, like, once she was like missing and stuff, and he came back and they found out she was missing. This was how the police were actually able to like put the whole thing together.
The story together.
Exactly, was from the Instagram. But yeah, so it said like they went to Kansas, Colorado, Utah, a couple different places in Utah for like July. And then August 12th, there was the altercation that like sparked and that went on social media and stuff. Which actually, I shouldn't say that actually. There was the altercation that happened, but it didn't come out on social media until
recently.
Yeah, because that was like the body cam footage that was actually just recently
from PV.
released.
Right. Now I remember that because I remember seeing them in a van. I think she was sitting in the back of the police car. They had some type of, I think, what did they say? Like hikers or passerbyers saw them.
Yeah, somebody was passing by them, and she says on the body cam footage that they were having an argument, and she says that like she hit him and she was hitting him, and then he just like grabbed her face, like squeezed,
mushed her,
like grabbed her face.
Right.
But the police in the video were like pointing out like marks on her and like saying, "Did he hit you?" and this and that, and she was defending him.
And she didn't want to press charges, right? If I recall.
No.
Okay.
And then from what I believe, they held him for 24 hours and her or whatever, and then they let them go because no charges were filed and whatever, and then they continued on their trip.
So her last known whereabouts was Yellowstone National Park?
Yeah, it was August 25th.
Okay, that's in Wyoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always get Yellowstone and Yosemite mixed up together.
Well, so that was the last time somebody
Excuse me.
I caught that after. So that was the last time that like she was known because of Instagram or like for them to track her. But
Right.
The last time she contacted her family was 5 days later, which was August 30th.
But they think that was actually not from her, that message.
Really?
Yeah, the last message they received from her, which they now believe, I think, is the day the day she went missing, like for real, before it was reported.
Yeah.
She sent a message saying something about her grandfather, I think it was, or one of the family members, and she referred to him in the text message as something she never calls him. So they think that the boyfriend tried to like throw them off by sending that last message, and then from there they never heard anything from them again.
Yeah, because so then on September 1st he comes home, and then September 11th the family reports her missing. Her family. So they didn't even report her missing. He came back. Here's the messed up part. This is the worst part about this story.
So you're telling me for about 10 days they haven't heard from her, and then they decided to.
So that's the thing is, the family thinks she's on a road trip, right? They think she's gone. They think she's on a road trip. He comes back on the 1st, doesn't tell her family, but now they haven't heard from her since the 30th. So 11 days later, they're like, all right, listen, I know you're on a road trip, but we haven't heard from you in 11 days. So they call in as a missing person.
Yeah, they reported her missing.
Then the police find out that he got back on the 1st without her,
right?
10 days before. And in the 10 days,
lawyer
in the 10 days that she was not like reported missing yet, but was missing, he had, gotten a lawyer, went on a mini vacation with his parents, supposedly.
3 days.
And then his parents came back from that 3-day trip and he didn't come back or some shit. He came back with them, but then he went missing and his Mustang shows up at the house or whatever.
He came back, then he went on his own trip, and then 2 days later they reported him missing, and it's all over the place.
My personal theory, when I saw that on YouTube, I was like, I think he went with them on the 3-day trip. They gave him money and supplies and whatever to go away. I don't think he came back with them for that 3-day trip, and they staged the whole his car and this and that. Blah, blah. I think they tried to help him get away to help the police get thrown off.
So let's put a pause in this for a second. All right. We have been on numerous trips before, separate or together, whatever it is. And just the way that I've been raised, I know Joe's the same way. I check in with my family every now and then. I might not talk to my sister every 2 days, but on that 3rd or 4th day, I'm like, yo, where's this bitch at? Why did she contact him? And I'll reach out, I'll call, or she'll text me, hey, I'm at work, call you later.
Yeah, when it's someone like that, when like if they haven't contacted you, something's up.
Or like when I went to California with Joe, my parents, they look out for me the same way I look out for everybody else, my friends, my family. If I leave on a 7-day vacation, they'll be like, hey, text me when you get there, call me when you get there, so they know that I made it to where I am.
It's a genuine heads up.
Yeah. Or even throughout the trip, if they hit you up on like a Friday night and they're like, hey, just want to make sure you're okay. They may not expect you to get back to them within that hour on that Friday night, but probably by the next morning, at least a text back. Hey,
usually
I'm good.
It goes about 3 or 4 days. They're like, look, I know you're having fun. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Miss you, love you, whatever. Call us when you get a chance. That's it. Usually I'll go back to the hotel, wherever I'm at that night, call them. Hey, yeah, what's up? I'm doing so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. I'll send a couple pictures. Keep up to date. I know Joe's family for a long time now, and they call him every 15 minutes, but
they show up.
That's it. That's Joe. I'm calling you. You're not answering. I'm outside your house. So
I didn't hear from you in an hour. So
Joe's family is also very much on top of things when it comes to Joe's whereabouts. Frank, I know you have Karen, who's always like, where are you? You're supposed to be home at 6 o'clock. It's 6:05. Where are you? Like it's shit like that. They're like, Karen is her own manhunter. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So for a family to not, I don't want to say for the family to not reach out to her, because I'm sure they did, but to not hear from your daughter or son or whomever.
Bro, it's just known to everybody that they're a family that's like that. They do that shit.
That is true.
She's always in contact. They said that they never gone long without, You know what I
Listen,
mean? So
there are some people who will go a couple days or
It was
weeks
uncommon for
without
that to
talking to
happen.
their family. I know people who don't talk to their mom or their dad for a couple months because they live
Plus,
in
you don't
different
know what
countries.
happened too. You don't know
But-
everybody's story. They could have she could have been in a fight with her parents before she went on this trip with him and been so in love with him and
That's
like they
true,
were like, don't
but
go. She could have gotten in a fight with them and been like, all right, I'm out. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
And
but
then
as
that could have been
parents,
why they
you
didn't
would
talk.
probably be like, listen, I know we ended off on bad
Yes,
terms,
but
but like, what's
wait.
going on? We haven't talked to you in 2 weeks.
But I get, but listen, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't 2 weeks even. It was 11
Well, I'm just
days. So
saying
that's what I'm
about
saying.
whatever-
Think about it like this. You get into a fight with your teenage daughter. She rebels and goes away with her boyfriend. All right, first couple of days you let it go. Then you
Yeah,
text
but
her, you reach out.
Time
Then
out.
a
Do
couple
we
days
know
you
that
let
they
it
had a
go.
fight, or are we just saying
No.
hypothetical
I'm just
situation?
assuming. I'm just
Okay.
throwing
this
something out there. I'm
wasn't
saying
this wasn't
scenario
a
like this could happen.
rebellious trip. They do this.
No,
They have a
no.
channel for
Well,
it and
he's
everything.
saying-
They built a whole van to do this.
Well,
They
wasn't it
didn't
just on this trip? I thought it was just for this trip.
Well, this
I
is
think
the
it was
this is the
just for
first
this
time they
trip.
built this thing, but like this has been a
We
thing.
built
that
this city.
Mm.
Well, that's what I was asking him. Did they have a fight or did they not? So, but Frank
Well,
is
no,
saying that they
I
didn't
was
have a
just-
fight. He's
no,
saying as
they
a
did.
rebellious
Well, I'm
daughter.
saying I don't
did.
know. No,
Right.
they did. I'm saying her and her parents. I'm just saying you don't know
You don't know
her
the back, right?
family
I
situation
think it would've leaked-
with
I
her
think it
parents
would've
is what I'm
leaked
saying.
out
So
now,
for
I
it to
think
not
everything-
talk for a week, it could have been feasible. Like if they were in like an argument or this and that, maybe she didn't want to talk to him for a week. You know, maybe they didn't want her to go on this trip, and she was like, "Listen, I'm going anyway." So they gave it a week before they tried to reach out. You know, like you don't really know.
Could be. So then, all right. So like we said, time passes. Listen, dude, I miss your kids when I don't talk to them for a couple days, and they'll FaceTime me on their iPad. I'm like, oh, how are you? She's like, I miss you. I'm like, it's been 12 hours, but okay, I get it. So for a family to feel that way, you could only imagine what they're going through. It's not hear from their child for 11 days, right? So what happens after that? Because I know that he came back, right, from he returns to Northport, Florida.
Yeah, so he returns on the 1st. On
Right.
the 11th of September, her family reports her missing. On
Okay.
the 15th, he was named a person of interest, but he was already gone. He wasn't
He
anywhere
wasn't
to be
in.
found.
Gotcha.
So
And you said he already has an attorney at this point.
yeah, his family already had an attorney and everything in like 10 days before she went
Right.
missing.
And if I'm not mistaken, he didn't want to make a statement or speak into the law about where she is, right? About the
Well, I
absence
think it
and
was
stuff
that
like
the
that.
parents didn't want to make a statement. He was never even around to make a statement.
Bro,
He's never been
How?
in custody or anything.
Well,
about
that's
the
what I'm saying.
Cops, though, man. Bro, this kid reports this girl missing all the way in another state. Comes
No,
back,
he didn't
lawyers
report her
up.
missing. The family reported her missing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You know she's missing. You lawyer up. You don't report her missing. I don't know. I don't know how this kid gets.
Bro,
away
it's
with
sketchy.
it.
It really is.
It
It's
is
sketchy.
so sketchy,
Listen,
man.
if you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to hide. When you got things to hide, that's when shit gets real. You
Yeah,
know?
like why would you be gone right now? Like why honestly, if you were like if you were
Or-
like even if you weren't even sad that she was like gone, let's say you broke up on the trip and you really didn't know where she was, why would you be missing now after it was national news and it became person of interest? If you knew you had nothing to hide, you wouldn't be missing.
Let's back up for a second. Do you know if the family
Bro, he left his
knew-
wallet, his cell phone home.
Well, hold on.
Well, he
Does-
got a new
does-
cell
right?
phone.
Does
The
her
parents gave him a
family
new cell
know
phone.
that he
They
came
got
back to
a
Northport?
burner phone. A burner phone, they said.
Does her family know that he came back to Northport when he did?
They did after because the police and everything found
All
out.
right, so
Yeah,
now
they didn't know
here's
they
another
didn't know he
situation.
was back.
If it's my girlfriend and I don't talk to her in a day, I'm like, yo, where you at? What are you doing? Where are you? And for him to not even show that on the text message records or any type of, I guess, communication with the family, that also shows a little bit of index of suspicion.
He's got guilt. all
Talk
over
about
him.
suspicion. Listen to this. I just read this. So on September 11th, Petito's family reported her missing to the Suffolk County Police Department in New York approximately 6:55 p.m. When police in Florida knocked on the Landry's door that night, his parents handed them the lawyer's phone number. They didn't
Yeah,
even
I
say
heard.
anything to the cops. They just handed them a lawyer's phone number.
I mean, listen, we
Nobody-
weren't there. I'm sure there was conversation, but she was probably like, look, we don't have nothing to say. Talk to our lawyer.
Yeah,
Most
dude,
likely. But even so,
how does that not look guilty? How does that
does
not
look
look
guilty.
guilty?
That shows mad guilt.
I don't know, man. Listen, at the end of the day, though, like guilty or not guilty, like, bro, you lawyer up and you don't say nothing. You just shut your mouth.
I guess.
Obviously,
a
that's
valid
just
point.
what you do, man. That's just how that shit goes, unfortunately. I mean, you could see the guilt all over it, but like, come on, man. Like, some people are gonna do that, you know?
Yeah, I
That's
guess.
That's the
All
whole
right,
point
so-
of that shit. That's everything right there. You don't have to say nothing. It's fucked up, but you don't gotta.
So he became a
Well, all
person
right.
of interest. Go
So
ahead,
yeah,
Frank.
on the 15th, he was a person of interest. On the 16th, there was a press conference in Northport. That was her family that begged for her to come home safe and to return. And then the 16th and the 17th, her sister, or no, I'm sorry, his sister speaks to Good Morning America.
His sister.
Yeah, it says Landry's
Okay.
sister speaks to Good Morning America. Hours after the family issued the statement of them begging for her to come home safe, she said, obviously, me and my family want Gabby to be found safe. She said, she's like a sister to me, and my children love her, and all I want is for her to come home safe and to be found. This is just a big misunderstanding.
So then
this is
at that
this
point,
is the sister, right? This is the
Yes.
first
Sister.
statement from
Do
them.
you think now she's being genuine about it, and she's like, I
I mean,
miss
she
her.
could
Where is she?
honestly
Please,
not
people.
know.
I don't think she
Right.
really knows as much as the parents know.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think now
Okay.
she
Well,
might be
think
a
about
little
it
bit
like
more
this way.
filled in, but in the beginning, I think she was a little bit more blinded than the rest of them.
Think
Or
about
is
it
she
this way.
covering up for her brother?
Well, that's what I was saying. Going back into the pause and like going into this way, you're a parent and you find out that your kid murdered someone. Are you going to help him get out of the country? Or are you going to turn him in?
I'm helping my son.
Wait,
Fuck
bro.
it, you know what I
So
mean?
let's
My
all right,
child.
because I'm thinking there's one of two things. Look,
I'll
I love you both.
smack
You
him
guys
the
come to me
fuck
one day
up
with
and
bloody
deal with that
hands.
later.
I'm already gonna be accomplice. All right, that's the bottom line. But if it's my own child, yeah, to the grave, I'm gonna take that kid. You know, unfortunately, it's gonna fucking suck, especially if given the situation that we're talking about here happened to my child. Let's
Well,
say it was
no.
my son, and
No.
he actually killed somebody, God forbid, or somebody's missing,
Right.
and if he's the number one suspect, that's different than him saying, Dad, I did something really bad. I need your help.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he wasn't even a suspect yet, but he comes home and he's like, listen, this is going to come out. Like we were all over the internet and this is going to come out. Something's going to happen. What do I do? And they're like, all right, listen, we can't get in trouble too, but this is what we're going to do to help you. And you're on your own from there. I see that being a big, huge possibility. I'm sorry, as a parent, how can you not want to help your child?
I would help
every
my
parent
child,
would.
but then like
Every
I would
parent
tell him he would have to hire a lawyer,
Or you
and,
got to turn
like,
yourself in.
and deal with your consequences. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
like
at
I
some
would
point,
help
yeah.
him get his last. That's a serious situation, bro. Like, who wants to suddenly just disappear like that because of something so serious?
I
Because
mean,
that's what's
think
gonna
about it,
happen,
though.
bro. He's going to
He-
jail, and that's that.
Well, I mean, think about it though. What if he gets out of the country and stuff? I mean, I know, don't get me wrong, especially nowadays, they found so many people in so many other different countries, but it's slimmer chances of them finding him and he gets out of the country. He makes it to
Bro,
Canada. or
it's
Mexico,
already
he's
slimmer
around the globe now.
chances.
No, I don't
It's
know. I mean,
already-
all right. So there's
bro.
already been. They said there was a sighting of him in Tennessee, and well, all right, I don't want to get ahead of
Who,
myself. on the story.
Dog the bounty hunter? Are we gonna talk about?
No,
how
no,
he's
so
involved in
some-
that?
Well, let's
Well,
get
he found
into
a
that.
fucking
Wait,
monster
let's
can.
continue the story.
Let's get involved in that. But no, there was a hiker that
Oh,
just
I'm
said
blowing shit
like
up.
20 hours ago or something today that he was
Yeah.
he spotted him in
He's
Tennessee,
seen him. He asked him questions,
and he
yeah.
sounded like he was not all there because
But you know what? Nobody noticed out of that statement is he was driving. He said that he pulled up. To
Yeah,
him
he
in
said
a
he pulled up
car.
and he was in a pickup truck.
But
I know.
all this shit I'm hearing, I don't hear nothing about him being in a fucking car.
Well, how do
Like,
we
he's
know
in a
how much money the
car.
parents had, like cash on hand, to give him to be able to
Well,
go away? We don't
he's
know how much
also-
money they had
He's
available.
wanted right now for theft. Like he has somebody's
Oh.
credit card. They didn't say if it was hers or somebody else's, but he's wanted for taking out and spending
Oh.
over $1,000
I
on
mean, and if
somebody
you're on the
else's credit
run,
card.
I'm sorry, it's not that outrageous to go steal a car.
Steal
No,
a car,
it's not,
no.
I
But
guess.
You know what I
listen,
mean?
if you don't have cash on you, how you getting around, bro? Credit cards, it's a money trail. It's a it's a paper
I mean,
trail.
think about it.
If
You have a
check
truck,
into
you
a
hit a gas
hotel or a
station.
motel. Hold on.
You have, well, I'm saying, you think about it though. You have a truck, you hit a gas station. All you're trying to do is get out of the country or whatever. What are you gonna do? All you gotta try and do is steal at least like $40 to fill up the truck and keep it moving, right? So
gonna
he's
try
probably
something.
hustling and stealing from people at different stops in different areas to where he could just keep it moving, I guess, depending on how much he was given to start off on the run.
Okay, but eventually, like, are you talking about stealing credit cards or stealing cash? Is he holding up liquor
Both.
stores? Does he have a gun?
No,
Does he have
well,
weapons on him? Because
Both. He could be pickpocketing people. He could see a tip on a diner, like you stop at a rest stop that's in a diner in the middle of nowhere or something. He could see like the waitress's tip and fucking snatch that shit. He could,
are
whatever
you
he's
making
doing.
$6 a table though?
But I'm saying, I get it. But I'm saying, what are you gonna do at that point? You're gonna do whatever you can, right? You're gonna take that $6, put it in the tank, and go to the next rest stop and hope you make more. Like, I'm sure he's just doing whatever he
Yeah,
can
but
to keep
that's
it
all
moving.
little in between shit that you could just sit here and assume all day. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. I mean, if I was on the run, I'm just saying, I would turn into a ruthless animal. I would leave the car there, and as someone else was pumping gas, I would hop into their car, they left the keys in, and just fucking take off. Like,
But then they report it stolen. They give the license plate and they put an APB out, and you're not making it to the next rest stop, bro.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's a good point.
You got to think more smarter than this, dude.
This is why I wouldn't last on the run.
Yeah, that's why you want to go to jail. Clearly,
That's why you want to go to jail. I was gonna say you want to go to jail. So it's
I haven't been there, so I can't want to go that bad.
You watched enough Wu-Tang Saga, American Saga, to know that it's not that bad. But you've also watched enough Prison Break, if I remember back in the day, so you do have a little bit of an idea.
I'm not even gonna lie. Honestly, you want to give a shout out to an old jail show? Oz was my shit back in the day. Oz was a great show on HBO.
I've never seen it.
Oh, great!
I
It
was
was good,
obsessed with that show. I never watched
minute,
that.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Great show. HBO honestly always had the shout out OG shows. Sopranos, Entourage. But okay, so 17th,
September 17th.
Yes,
He goes missing. The family met and says he's missing.
So the police say there was no connection to double homicide, and he goes missing in the same day.
Okay.
So now there's a dual search on the 18th for him and her. On the 19th, they find her body.
Of September.
Yes. So it was approximately 8 days after she went missing. It was 19 days after she was actually missing.
Gotcha. And so when was her last known? Was it in Wyoming where they were?
Yeah, it was on the 30th. So yeah, it was about 20 days before.
Okay, so her last known place was in Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then he came
back. That's where the body was discovered too.
Okay. What happened to the van? Do we know what happened to the van?
No.
Because I saw that I think they found the van and they found her.
No, the van was at his house.
No,
what do you
dude.
mean? He drove it home.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. He drove her van to his house in Florida.
All right, because I thought that they had found the van and there was a picture of her sandal behind it. And he was like, no, I don't know where she is, but she's missing a sandal. That's what, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I saw on the news. Don't make that face at me, bro. I just told you I don't watch the news. I'm just trying to follow up with you guys.
Honestly, I don't know.
Maybe I haven't heard that one, but maybe
I don't know what happened with the van. Only thing I heard about like cars and stuff like that afterwards was about like his Mustang being out there, or like the parents finding his Mustang without him being around, and that was when he went missing.
All right.
But I don't know. I don't know if he took the van back or left the van there. I mean, how would he have gotten back if he didn't take the van?
He took the van back.
Like if she was the one missing and he came back, it kind of makes sense for him to have taken the van back.
I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe when they searched the van after he was a person of interest, they found a picture of her or something like that. That's what you're misconstruing. I don't know.
I guess so.
So
her body was found in Wyoming on September 19th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the cause of death is still undetermined, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Well, they ruled it a homicide, but there's no
but I'm
official...
saying, is there like strangulation, asphyxiation?
They haven't officially announced that yet, but it's got to be one of it because they announced it a homicide. They can't announce it a homicide without knowing any of those details.
That's true.
It had to be pretty yeah,
because it says the FBI said forensic examination had confirmed that the remains were hers and it was a matter of death by homicide. So they wouldn't say it like that if they didn't have something else. They probably just don't want to release it yet.
They don't want to release it yet. They don't want anybody to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, you said so. Now he's charged with debt. I'm sorry, credit card and theft.
Yeah. So now this was a couple days after. So now as he's on the run and they're looking for him, whatever, September 23rd, a federal arrest warrant from the FBI was issued unsealed in Wyoming for him, charging him with debit card fraud.
He's an idiot because they have no actual proof that it's him besides he's running. That's the biggest, stupidest thing that makes him look guilty. But there's no actual proof he did anything. Now that fucking warrant for credit card theft is bullshit. That's just to get his ass in cuffs. That's their reason to have the search team do what they're doing.
And to get people in the public and whatever. But honestly, again, dude.
They said it today, actually. He's got a shitload more charges coming once they get him.
even if he is or is not guilty, he's got to come back and answer to whatever happened. Like, no matter what, like, I'm sorry, I think he is guilty because, again, why would you be on the run right now in this moment if it wasn't the case? You know what I mean? If you knew that something was going to come up and she was going to be missing or whatever it is, even if you guys just broke up and you came back without her and then all this happened, if you had nothing to hide, you wouldn't be missing right now. You would at least be putting some type of thing on social media to your fans that you had on Instagram, to whatever, reaching out to the people that you could influence to believe you or whatever you would want to say. You know what I mean? Like, listen, guys, this is really what happened. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you got to believe me.
I
And
just
that's
think
where it would start for you, you know?
I think they all know. The whole family knows. That's why they're being quiet, because they know that it happened, and anything they say from here on is going to be incriminating. Like, it's
So
just
at what point? At what point is
is going to look horrible?
at what point is the family held to some type of count of something now? Like, for how
Like
long is he going to
accessory.
be out there on the run to where now they exactly? Because again, I get wanting to help your son, but now if he's not found, and let's say he does make it out of the country and makes it around somewhere or whatever, and he's not found, at what
guess
point are
the
they held
more-
responsible?
The more noise people make over this, the more they're going to come knocking for this shit. And then eventually they'll push the parents and say, listen, we're going to just throw you to the fucking jail if nobody wants to say where the fuck he is.
There's
You
two
know what I
things
mean?
I want to touch on here. The first one, have you guys seen the movie Alpha Dog?
Yes.
Yes,
sick.
great movie.
Great movie, right? Okay.
We've seen it together like 3 times.
We have.
I think.
So in the movie, Emil Hirsch plays a drug dealer in California, and he kidnaps somebody's brother. Somebody who he kidnapped, I'm sorry, somebody owes him money, and he kidnaps that person's brother. And at first, well, the movie plays it out is that it's really just more of a holding, if anything.
Well,
like, hey, I need my money, so then I'll give you back your brother type of thing.
In the movie, though, he's a spoiled rich kid that is like on drugs, and this is why he like makes this outrageous plan and like goes overboard by doing this.
Correct.
Like, he's totally out of his depth, out of his reach. He's not like some gangster before he does this, or like someone that's like in some crazy life of crime. He's newly coming into drugs as a suburban kid, and like, you know what I mean, gets in over his head.
Right. The point of the story I'm trying to make is after everything unfolds, unfortunately, the person who he did kidnap is murdered. Emil, I forgot the guy's fucking name.
It was an accident too.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Oh no!
No, he
they
died
take
in
him up to
real
the
life
thing.
from an accident.
Yes, they take him up to the thing. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I forgot about that. Such a sad scene. That's not a spoiler, right? That movie's mad old.
No,
Okay.
that's the story. That's like this. So he plays Johnny Truelove, which actually isn't his real name in real life, but for the most part, Johnny Truelove. So Johnny Truelove's father sends him away with money. He gives him his money. He's like, kid, you got to get out of here. Go. And he leaves. So like we mentioned before, if it's your own child, whether it's a daughter or son, you're going to do everything in your power to protect your kid, no matter what. So yes, the family is wrong in this, but everybody would be in that situation. I personally don't know anybody who would give up their own child. I would sit down and have a conversation with them. Like, look, you did the crime. You got to do the
Actually
crime.
happens quite often.
What? Parents giving up their kids?
Yeah, honestly.
Kids
I-
get
well,
killing
I said I
people these
personally
days,
don't know
man, and
anybody.
they're
Being
like,
like-
he did it.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
I personally don't know anybody
Samuel's
that
a
would.
fucking dumbass. That's
I'm
what
not
they be
saying,
telling the
you may not
cops.
personally know somebody like that.
I'm sure it happens.
But there's plenty
It's
of
gotta
people that
happen.
do that. But on the flip side
do.
too, there's plenty of people that do go on the run and go missing for like 50 years and then are
They'll
still found
eventually
again.
find him.
Yeah,
They'll
you know what I
eventually-
mean? So
This is for the
and then
rest of
there's
his
ones that
life
do get
now.
away too. So exactly, he's gonna be on the run forever. So at
That's
some
it.
point,
And even if there's two options. You either go about it and you just say, fuck it, let me just see how far I can go. Or you have enough money, you get plastic surgery, you find someone who will give you a new ID and you start a new life. It's still going to be very difficult because, again, paper trail, it's all going to come behind. No one's going to do plastic surgery for somebody without insurance.
well, forget
and no
the
one's going to
paper
do.
forget the
no one's-
paper trail, but hang on, go back to the moral side of it too. Like, how do you just start over? Like, no one would like ever happen. Really, you're the only person that really knows what happened in that situation, being him. You know,
And
what
you
I mean?
can't make contact with anybody you used to know.
And how do you just get on and just like do that? Like, how
Listen,
do you,
man, that shit
as a
happens.
person, how do you not turn yourself into me? Like, that's just
Because we are good people. Other people are like, oh, fuck, now I got to run. It's all about me. I got to get out of here. How can I fix my shit? You know? I don't know. It's fucking crazy. The second thing I wanted to bring up was I haven't seen it in full, but there was the documentary of You Don't Fuck with Cats. And you remember
I
when
didn't see this
no,
one.
I didn't see it either. The long and short of it is that
that
there was somebody on doing YouTube videos and he was mutilating cats, killing them, strangling them, putting them in bags. Yeah, putting them in a bag and beating them to death.
Oh, I did see this one.
And he was videotaping it and putting it on YouTube. The people who were watching these videos were literally private investigators for this whole thing. Everybody created a community and they shared video. They were like,
he ended up sharing a video like killing somebody, right?
Yes.
And somebody like pointed out shit in the video, and dude,
so
oh my god,
they said, all right, well, listen, in the background there's a 1968 Skylark or something like that, and that was only made in these two countries, in these two states, so it's got to be in these states or whatever it was. They literally went into investigation. They looked at like the door handles, where they were sold, how many, and they wound up finding this person. So this is why the community as a whole and the internet as help is able to also help the FBI and shit like that. And now you mentioned before that Dog the Bounty Hunter is getting involved.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know much about this guy, but I did see on one of the YouTube things that I was seeing that I guess he's like a bounty hunter that's like down in Florida, and he's like real famous. He gets everyone or something like that. So
he has a TMZ show. He goes live and he goes to hunt. He goes bounty hunting. People who have warrants out for their arrest or shit like that, he'll go and find them.
You don't know who the dog is?
No. And he's from Florida, right?
Yeah.
Bro, he had a TV show and everything.
No, yeah. I mean, I've seen it, like I said, because of the YouTube thing, but I didn't know who he was. I just heard that he was going after this guy.
I don't know what he's been doing, but I'm pretty sure he's like a wash and like he's like trying to get back in and shit.
Gotcha.
Well, do another TV show.
This kid
I heard he's
could
trying to
be
pitch a
his,
TV show. Yeah,
this
his
kid
way
could
back
be his,
in.
like Raven or
He
Phoenix,
looks,
whatever you want to call
he
it.
looks like Mickey Rourke a little bit. This guy, Dog the Bounty Hunter. If you know who
Kind
Mickey
of like
Rourke
a
looks
skinnier
like.
version, yeah.
He's got a lot of people helping him, man. He's got a hotline.
So,
he's working with like retired NYP, like detectives, not NYPD. I don't know why I'm saying that.
So I don't think, Joe, I don't know if he's like using this as an excuse to reclaim his fame, but he's now involved in it. And I'm just gonna throw this out there. If this case goes on for another 2 or 3 weeks, I'll even give it a fucking month, where the FBI investigations are not able to find out where this guy is, and Dog the Bounty Hunter finds him, I'm no longer paying taxes. Straight up. Fuck that. Because a Florida man can find this dude, but the FBI with all their shit can't. Something's up. And I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I hear you.
So, I mean.
But you know what, dude? I thought about it. Listen, he made a statement about it. Like, he don't share his information. They don't call him up like, hey, dog, what do you got? He's like solely on his own. He's got
his own team.
Well, a lot of bounty hunters
nobody
like
sanctioned him. Right. He's a fucking bounty hunter.
Like, not to like compare it to like that, but think about All About the Benjamins. Ice Cube, like that, he like didn't talk to his captain about any of his cases. And leave me the fuck alone.
But like, dude, the FBI, and he's got a lot of people helping him, like all over. He's got a hot, like, you know what I mean? People push for social media influence more than they would for the cops right now.
Yeah, I'm sure there's mad people.
You know how many people are like, oh, Dog the Bounty Hunter, let's go. Like, I'm gonna help him out.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a lot of shit going on. And bro, the FBI or whatever, they're probably sitting back saying, like, yo, we're not gonna fuck with it. We know what we know, we see what he knows. And dude, like just recently he shared some information on what he has because it needs to be DNA tested. He said he can't do that. I mean, I think he could send it to his own lab. Right. I don't know why he couldn't, but I think like he's really trying to work with people. They're all trying to work together, but like he handed over evidence just recently to get tested for DNA. They don't say what it is or how many things, but that he found stuff that he thinks is going to really prove that he is where people are saying he is, which is along the Appalachian Trail or some shit like that. I don't even know.
We'll let you pass on that one because I can't say it either. Appalachian.
Well, that was the thing that the guy said that he like saw him. So apparently
that was his last known.
Yeah, well, recently that was just recently. So apparently this guy said that he saw him driving in a pickup truck.
October 2nd.
And yeah, he said that he saw him driving in a pickup truck. But here's the crazy part is he goes, he didn't realize that it was him right away. So he goes, I didn't realize it was him right away. He goes, but he asked me, he said, hey man, I'm lost. Like, do you know, like, and he was like, well, where are you trying to go? He's like, California. And he was like, oh, I thought that was a weird thing for him to say. And he's like, well, you can hop on the I-40. It's like, parallel to this road and it'll take you all the way there. And he goes, no, I'm just going to stay on this road. I think this will take me to California. And he said that he sounded really weird. And he was like, it's a local road. Like, obviously it wouldn't take him to California. And then he took off. So like, obviously if that was him, it sounds like he's not all there right now anyway. Like, you know what I mean? If that was true, it could have been, that could just be some BS person that just wants to get in the news and be like, oh, I saw him. I saw, because that happens during times like this too. You know what I mean?
That's what they thought about this guy.
Minutes.
They just released the 911 call for him, the hiker.
Yeah.
That made the 911 call. And he was like, he was 99.99% sure that he just spoke with this kid. He was like freaking out.
Yeah, well,
he was acting. That Brian Laundrie was acting
until
wild
after he
and
left him.
erratic.
So it could make sense for him to be like that after he's like, oh my God, maybe that was him.
Right, but now let's just say that this was really the case, and let's say the guy was in Tennessee or North Carolina border around there, and they called 911 like, hey, listen, I think I just saw Brian Laundrie, blah blah blah. He mentioned California to me. Don't you think the state police or the state troopers would then block off borders to get anywhere and have a checkpoint?
Absolutely.
At this point, I think it's about time.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, if anything, he's gonna be checking this news and social media to see where he wants to go next. So now he's probably not going to want to go to California if that is the case.
But even so, let's say you check into a hotel and you're watching the news or you're reading the paper. The manager is going to be like, oh shit, this is that motherfucker that's on the news.
Yeah, but there's plenty of places that you could go in, especially if he's in the middle of the country now. Like if he was in Tennessee when he got spotted, and there's plenty of motels over there in Tennessee that you might not have somebody working at the desk that like
Tennessee
watches the news or is on social media.
I would say Kansas or Ohio or something kind of out there.
Tennessee
like that.
has popular cities, but Tennessee also has a lot of cities that are very unpopulated areas. Tennessee's a very big state, bro.
How long are you gonna stay there for? Someone's gonna recognize him.
If he's going through on a highway in a rural area, not in a city, he's not going to stop in Memphis, Tennessee. But if he's like obviously if he was on the Appalachian Trail or whatever, he was trying to go in places where it's not like very populated. You know what I mean? So let's say he's going down a road now, leaving there after he's spotted, and he sees some motel that's off some like shitty highway. That person might not necessarily recognize him. They're not somebody that's in the city, on social media, on whatever, like in technology central, you know what I mean? So they might not necessarily notice him. In a place like that, he might be able to not use his name too. He might just be able to pay cash and be like, listen, I just need a room for the night. I'm sorry, I don't want to give my name, whatever. And that's it. And they might not question it. Somebody like that doesn't get a lot of visitors at their hotel. They'd rather take the money for the room for the night and not get involved in his business. So it is possible. I'm just saying.
No, that's not too far-fetched. So now I think there's a reward out now, right, for his capture or any information. I think it's like $10,000. It was a $10,000 reward being offered to the search.
No wonder this guy called in and said he saw him.
Dude, they're narrowing in now, and fucking he was what'd you say, North Carolina, right? It's where he was last supposedly known. It's not too far from New York, honestly, and I don't think he's gonna make it to California. I'm gonna give this another 2-3 weeks before they find him. If not, he's gonna either go
3 weeks.
2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Bro. It's only been a month now, and even half a month.
If he goes that long, wow.
I'm giving.
I think it's gonna be longer.
I can't even believe he's going. He's long.
So Joe, you think they're gonna catch him shorter than that?
Yeah, they're gonna catch him soon, dude.
All right, Frank, hold on. So Joe, what's an
He's an amateur. He just knows the back road, bro. He likes to travel.
You could be an amateur. It's all about this, bro. It's all about the cheddar.
No, he don't have money.
So Joe, how
we don't know?
He's a 7-year-old kid, bro. What do you mean?
We don't know how much his friends or family.
Yeah, you do. His whole life is exposed, bro. Everything's in the news. They know everything about him. If this kid was a secret millionaire, had some type of money, like it would have been. Somebody would have said something already. Everything you could think of has been said, except where
there could have been some family friend or mutual friend that hasn't been mentioned or thought of that he could have been reached out to that didn't come out on their own. It is a possibility. That could have been someone that helped him.
You're saying that he has friends exposed, like sending him Venmo and shit.
Not sending him Venmo, but that could have been like, all right, listen, man, I know you're gonna be on the run, like, or like if someone that he knew that was wealthy, listen, man, I really need help, please, whatever, and they're like, all right, listen, just this one time. Well, you don't know if he could have had someone like that. Yeah, but then that
person becomes an accomplice, and I don't think anyone's willing to do that if they're not tight.
Don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I
don't know. He could have had someone that he was tight with that somebody's not thinking about, or we don't know. I'm just saying he has been surprising people for being gone this long. He has to have something helping him. Like you said, he's an amateur. He's a young kid. He's 20-something years old. He's going to outsmart the whole FBI. He's
No.
got to have some help to me. But that's why, to me, I think it's going to be longer. I think he's going to be gone a couple months. Like even the guy on Long Island
Couple
that was
months.
dumping the guy on Long Island that was dumping the prostitute bodies like down the beach or whatever. He was dumping the bodies along the same freaking shoreline, and he wasn't even found for like 9 months.
So Joe, you think he's gonna be caught within the next week?
Yeah.
So you're gonna say before Halloween?
Yeah, before Halloween.
And
I
Frank,
think
what are you
so.
thinking? You thinking before the end of the year?
No.
You
I
think
mean, bro,
longer than
he's-
the end of the year?
Yeah.
He's
I
gone
think
this
I think
he's
enough for it to
gone-
like die down and not be in like the public anymore. And then like later on in time, it'll be like, oh my God, remember that guy? He was caught.
Actually, this just popped into my head. But do you guys remember those 2 prisoners that escaped from jail?
Yeah, I do.
Whatever
Yeah.
happened with them? Did they find them?
I'm not going back. Shut up.
I think they killed one,
What?
didn't they?
I said,
killed
I'm not
one.
going back. Shut up.
Did they? Yeah.
No, I have no idea who.
I don't remember what the story
And then the
was.
other guy got away. They had sex with like the fucking lady who worked there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't remember the story coming to an end at that. But I don't know.
There's a lot of things like that. Think about it like this. We've even
Happens a
said
lot.
there's so many unsolved mysteries, right? Like there's so many things that are like that don't get solved or that don't
Yeah,
you
but
know,
this
like
is
aren't
like-
found or whatever.
So no, you know what? You make a point because when you said unsolved mysteries, I'm thinking Biggie and Tupac shooting, but this is a little bit more of an unsolved mystery. This is more
There's
relatable.
plenty of unsolved mysteries,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
But I'm
like I
not saying
said,
Biggie and Tupac was the only unsolved mystery. but
no,
I'm just-
yeah, but I'm saying that's just like one type. You know what I mean? There's so many different unsolved mysteries out there.
That's crazy.
You
Like
know
the
what?
Loch
This
Ness
isn't-
monster.
Technically, paranormal stuff is an unsolved mystery.
True.
Joe, do you believe in that?
Joe's all about it.
Yeah, no, I kind of do believe in some paranormal shit.
Yeah, like so, like, but like how they say like the paranormal activities, the Blair Witch, and like stuff like that is based off of like true events and stuff. You believe in that?
I don't believe in no Blair Witch or no fucking Bloody Mary or no, you know what I mean?
Guys, I told you about Bloody Mary. Please, let's not bring this up again.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
That's why you don't say Beetlejuice.
What was that?
That was me trying to block out the sound of you reminiscing my nightmares and shit.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
You are fucking with powers unbeknownst to you, my friend.
I love it. You really believe that? Yo, did I ever tell you about? I think we might have talked about this once, but I ever tell you about when I wanted to buy that like old ass Ouija board at this fair, and
You
Karen
did.
was like that, and it's
Yes.
so funny because how you were reacting exactly like she was. She's, you're not bringing that in my house. No way, you're not bringing that in my house. And it, like,
Hell
it's
no.
so
You don't know what
funny 'cause
juju's
when
on there?
When
Listen.
someone believes in something like that to the fullest, it's so. Oh, it's
I have a feeling I know Joe's answer to this question I'm gonna ask already. But Joe, if I came over your house with a Jumanji board and it was legit authentic, are we playing or no?
We're fucking playing. Bro.
I knew he was gonna say
What
that.
do you mean? Yeah.
We are unleashing.
You got a
hell.
fucking actual Jumanji board? Yes.
gotta call me. I'll bring the backpack.
You bring the backpack, motherfucker.
I really would.
That's crazy. To back up what you were saying before, though, because you had asked me this question earlier in the week, if a family member like your daughter comes to me and they're like, "Listen, Uncle Danny, I done fucked up. I need help." Immediately, my first question is, "Where are we going?" or "Where have you never been before?" Because yes, and when it comes to family or your son, something like that, you're gonna want to take them under your wing. You don't want to protect them. You know that at the end of the day, you're both fucked. You're
What was
both
that?
fucked.
If you're going with them though, you're slimming down their chances for survival. Like you can help them, but you're not going with them. Like for you to be like, take you under my wing and protect you, nah. But what his parents did is the smarter thing, to be like, listen, we could help you so far, but at some point you're gonna have to try and like make it on your own now.
Yeah,
Like
but at the same time, money's gonna run out soon, and I get that he's
absolutely,
going,
but
I
again,
get that
he's
he's
an adult. He needs to at some point figure out how to get money. That's why I said, like, when you're on the run, think about any movie or any TV show that you've seen or something where it's like life on the run or like, you know what I mean? That's the type of lifestyle he's gonna have to start to live now. It's gonna
Bro,
be a
he's not
fucked
an
up.
adult. He's 23 years old.
He is an adult. As soon as you're 18, you're an adult. I get it that you're saying like
Mentally,
he's still a kid and like whatever.
no,
but he's an
legally.
adult. Legally, he's an
I
adult.
just hope
he
he-
can,
I hope
he
he
can fend
ends
for
up-
himself.
I hope he ends up on that show, The Killer Speaks, once he's caught. That's all I care about. I just want to watch that episode. And then,
I want to see if he like, because you know he's got to be someone that has like a short fuse and like anger issues in the sense of like whatever. Because if he's hitting his girlfriend and stuff over, you know what I mean. But he had like all those posts of her like them kissing and laughter and this and that. So behind closed doors, he's that type of animal. when they finally interview and stuff, and then they start poking at him and like asking questions about her and this and that, at some point he's just gonna be fucking flip out. Like that's what I want to see.
Like the
Because
R.
that's how
Kelly
you confirm
interview.
and know that exactly. Because that's how you confirm and know that that's the type of person that he is. You know what I mean? Because any person that's like that, that's how they're gonna react. You know what I mean?
Guess so. I mean, but look, 23 years old, you think about it like, yeah, I'm an adult. And I know a couple 23-year-olds who are very responsible, very mature. They have their life together. They got their shit going on. But I know a lot of 28-year-olds who are like, Ma, how do you button a button? You know, how do you tie a tie?
Yeah, it
And I'm like,
depends on the upbringing, but
of
again,
course,
legally
but
being 18, you should be able to be a done adult to make your own
well, that's
decision.
based on society. And legally, yes, after 18, I agree with you. You're going to be tried as an adult, but mentally, he was going around with his girlfriend on road trips, which is fantastic. And there's nothing wrong with that. But did he have a career? Did he have a job or something? Like, what was his lifestyle? What's his background? Are we aware of that?
I have no idea. Yeah,
Or
what
was
was
he,
funding their trip in the first place?
you know what I'm saying? Like,
How were they
he was
even able to go
22
on
and he
this
was 23.
trip across the country at 20 something years old each in this van? Like their families have to be somewhat wealthy.
Well, wealthy and having money are two different things.
I don't know. Maybe they were
So-
really smart with budgeting their money and traveling and where they stay and how they spend money on.
I mean, well,
food.
that's why they got the RV, but at the same time, fucking, you got to have money to build an RV, especially from the ground up. So I'm just saying, look, Joe, if you're ever on the run, fam, I'm going with you. All right, don't leave me behind. That's what I'm trying to get at. Frank, don't call me, bro.
Oh
You
yeah,
slow me
it
down.
is her. Wait,
What?
what'd you say?
What are
Nothing.
you talking
No,
about?
what'd you say?
I,
You
I
missed
said,
it.
yeah, it's over. I was like,
It's
Joe,
not
if
like
you
I
ever...
can't go back and watch it.
No, you're right. No, I was like, Joe,
Doesn't
if you're
matter.
ever on the run, you need help, let me know. I'm coming with. Don't leave me behind. And then I was like, Frank, I think I might just slow you down. You're on your own on this one.
Yeah, fuck you. All right, fuck you too.
I'm not going to jail with you.
Wow. All right. So
I'm bailing you out, son. What do you want me to do? You got to have somebody on the outside paying the commissary.
Uh-huh. So she was the funder. It was her. Her family is, I don't want to say
Rich.
wealthy or whatever, but I
They
don't
have
know.
money.
But she was the one that was funding their trip because it was Gabby Petito's road trip with him. Like she took him on this road trip. She purchased the van.
She's
Yeah.
a sugar mama.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right. So then there you go. That kind
I
of
got
sums
me
it
one
up.
of those.
Yeah.
You got me
You
one
lucky,
of
man.
those.
You lucky, fam. You guys both lucky. You're supposed to be equal.
It's so
You go
funny. In
together.
my head, I was gonna say, but you said it. It was great.
It's not the first time I said that either.
Babe,
Yeah.
can I get some candy?
It's not the
No,
first time I
wait
said
till
that
Halloween.
either.
Um,
All right, so wait. So they are still looking for him. They have found her, but yeah, I guess the search continues. We'll find out. We'll have an update when something else happens at this point. That pretty much covers everything. Unless you have any other moral type questions.
I guess at the same time, where you could say I would help out a family member. What if the cops come to your house knocking and like, listen, because you helped out your family member, you are now also being tried and you're being an accomplice. Does that person who is the accomplice get as much time, get less time, or they
No,
out
they
on
would-
bail, or like what happens? Because they didn't actually commit the crime. They were
They
just
wouldn't
helping.
get as much time. Like he wouldn't get as
No,
much time
but
as
they're-
murder.
they're
He would just
gonna-
be like, I think it's aiding and abetting or
Aiding and abetting,
Sorry.
yeah.
or something like that. So I believe it's way less
Or
charges than
accessory.
that.
I'm sorry, not
It could
what
be
I said.
accessory. But yeah, so whatever the charges is way less than what murder would be. So yeah, the charge would be less. But at that point, like, does the family member become a rat and then say where they know if they know where he is or whatever? At
I
that
guess
point, does
so.
he come out because now he feels guilty that he got someone else caught for his actions?
We'll see in the next week.
in the next week.
That's it. So, all right. I guess for anybody out there who's thinking that they're seeing Brian Laundrie, fucking call 911. Get that kid out of here. Imagine that was your cousin, your sister, your friend, your family member. You would want justice for her. Justice for Gabby.
If you
Absolutely, bro.
see him at the deli getting a bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee, call the cops.
Fucking smack him up one so he's laying on the floor and then call the cops so he can't run away.
That's it, man. All right, well, that's us putting it out there. Now everybody knows the timeline of what's going on. Hopefully this gets wrapped up soon, and hopefully her family can have some closure.
Yeah,
Rest
and
in
the episode artwork this week is going to be
Picture.
a picture of them, so that way you guys can see his face, please.
Rest in peace to Gabby Petito, and our wishes and prayers are with her family.
Absolutely, man.
Again, thank everybody for listening, for liking, for sharing. Check out the Facebook. No, not the Facebook. Facebook's been down recently, but check out the website. You said
Check out the Facebook anyway too.
and the YouTube.
Yeah, check out our Instagram, please. We're doing well on Instagram. YouTube, we're also picking up a little bit, so please, our YouTube, and then the website. Check out for that live event. We're gonna be what was it, Beer Fest?
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Specialist Beer Fest.
We'll get into that.
All right.
Thanks for listening.